could attribute that to maybe lack of specific directions or something like that. However, my pushback here on the risk, at least apparent risk, with the caveat being we probably don't know all of the apparent risk just due to underreporting, difficulty sort of ascertaining why somebody has specific symptoms, as you alluded to with the cadmium toxicity. People wouldn't be looking for that, for example. A lot of people take supplements. 75% of Americans have taken supplements for the past year. That's probably an underestimate. Yet we do not see this overwhelming sort of influx of sick people in the emergency rooms, in primary care clinics, and whatever. So to me, it seems like, yeah, we know that there is likely some risk, some cost, and they probably don't do much, yet people still find ways to do fine. And it may just be that the majority of people using supplements are relatively young or otherwise healthy, or maybe more health conscious individuals, for example. Although you could make the argument that, look, if someone is searching for a supplement, maybe they're searching for an answer to a problem. And so maybe they aren't actually that healthy. This is more speculation. However, what we do know is that while there are real cases of severe injury secondary to supplements, there's a whole registry of like the liver induced injury and such. It's not overwhelming. And given the amount of use, it seems hard to argue that this risk is just way out of proportion to the typical use of current supplements. And the data as well as I do about how well people will adhere to taking multiple medications, for example, or a single medication. And I would suspect the same is likely true for supplements. So what I suspect is that the biggest risk is probably cost for the majority of supplements, even though I don't think that most of them are like, this is safe, 10 out of 10 would recommend. I think they all cost, there's some risk, yet people still find a way to do fine. And so if forced to push back, I would say I agree with almost everything that you said, except for the outcomes that we have with respect to risk do not paint this picture of like, man, if you take a supplement, this is real risk. I would also say, just again, speaking out of both sides of my mouth, I don't recommend that people should just take supplements, particularly in the two sort of industries. One would be like sexual enhancement. The other one would be testosterone boosting. Those tend to be the most commonly contaminated and mislabeled sort of areas. You could add fat loss as a third one in there. If you avoided those three sort of genres of supplements, I feel like you probably eliminate a substantial amount of risk, but not all risk, especially depending on who you follow on social media and what they're selling.